Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Burning Questions. First of all, welcome to my co-host these days, Andy Gath. Isn't it wonderful to have these beautiful young men, these two hot young drivers as part of BQ today?
Yeah, no, pretty hard to get talent like this on this show, but pretty fortunate to have these two on air today.
Do you remember being this young and fresh face? Look at them, they're glowing. They're glowing. They look virtually pregnant. They are glowing, aren't they?
It was a long time ago when I was that young.
Me too, unfortunately. I'm still glowing though. Jack Law, welcome to you. Sitting in the same spot as last time with the fan behind you at the kitchen table. You look resplendent. How are you, my young friend?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
And Jimmy Herbertson's already had to drive up 3 paddocks and borrow somebody's phone. How do you drive through a paddock and find somebody who you can borrow a phone off?
Oh, I was just driving back towards the shed and my grandfather down there and just snuck his phone and we got the field. So I know what we're talking about, Jason.
We might need to get you to drive up higher onto the paddock, I reckon, almost, because cut out a little bit there. We'll see how we go. If not, we don't want you to drive and BQ at the same time because that's dangerous. But we might need you to get to that really high point in the paddock in a moment. Let's get stuck into the burning questions for now and see if we can't get through at least a little bit. First question to you, Jackson Law. Is your first name actually Jackson or Jack?
Jack.
Yeah. All right, Jackson. So here's the first question. Can the new look Torrid Saint cross all in Minuteman? And if he does, maintain the rage at longer distance span? Now, I wrote what I thought was almost a love poem to you in the Herald Sun. What a wonderful drive last start. Can you achieve something similar on Saturday night at Melton?
Yeah. Well, I don't see why you couldn't. Probably a question you'll have to ask Andy: is Tango Tara quick enough to hold him out? The scratching of Rock and Roll do, in a way, it helps us, but in another way, it would have been nice if we wanted to go back to have him still in there. But I think he's good enough to win again.
So you had the Agates to cross Bonsell Benjamin, and now you're worried about Tango Tara. Have you had a bad week, Jack?
No, well, Andy's in the chat, so I just want to be polite and ask him first.
All right. Well, nice little segue. I thought I was hosting, but apparently Jackson is. Right, Andy? Is Tango Tara going to be launched off the gate, and can you hold Torrid Saint to the first turn?
Well, he'll come out as quick as he can. I'm not sure if he's as quick as Torrid Saint. Torrid Saint sort of was airborne last time when he left the gate. As we know, Tango Tara hasn't had a lot of good draws since he's been here, so his gate speed's a little bit unknown. But Kate will come out as quick as she can, and if she's quick enough to hold up, he'll hold up and try and take luck out of the equation, which he's been deprived of for a lot of his starts this time in.
He's been deprived of fortune, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Andy. You're very hard done by, aren't you? You don't get a lot of luck in life. Haven't we agreed that he's a better horse off the speed anyway, Tango Tara?
Well, he probably is, but again, I think the races he's won since he's been here have all been up near the lead. So coming out of barrier 3 now, he's probably have to try and utilise his draw to some extent. I think Torrid Saint's one of the main dangers, and that Honolulu Bay and Lochinvar off the back row. So I think he's got no option but to go forward this week.
Up to 2,240 metres. Jack's already said he doesn't see any reason why Torrid Saint can't do it again. But does this mean that Lochinvar and Honolulu Bay will find the opportunity? They'll be too classy or not?
I don't think so. I don't think we should undersell Torrid Saint beating Lochinvar last start, and we know he'd be a lot fitter Lochinvar, and we know Honolulu Bay hasn't lost since it's been with Hammer and Clayton. So again, they're all quality horses in the race, and they're on the back row. So just depends on that lead time, how quick it is early. It's not a real fast front row, so if Torrid Saint does lead, I don't think it'll be in a blistering lead time, or if Tango can hold up, I don't think it'll be super quick. So the ones off the back row are going to have their work cut out.
Jimmy, now you've got another phone to look at the fields. What are your thoughts here? Torrid Saint gets across them or not?
The first 100 will probably be the telltale sign. That Tango Tara probably just takes that little bit more to wind up to his high speed, whereas Torrid Saint sort of hits it quite quickly. So I think he'll cross him, and from there, well, it'll be an interesting race.
What are you going to do at the start?
Yeah, I'll have to roll forward. I think I'm mad if I go back. My bloke's not renowned for his gate speed, so he won't he won't be straight down the running line, but we'll work there and sit there and see how we get home.
So, what does roll forward? People say roll forward all the time. What does roll forward mean? Does that mean we're actually going to really try and take up a forward position? You're not going to blaze off the gate. You're rolling forward. You're using the wheels.
You're just pedaling along, Jason. Yeah, but no, it's just he's not renowned for his gate speed. He does lack a little bit, like a lot of the Kiwis do. But he's gradually getting better with it. But he'll just be sort of rolling and not doing too much because he won't have to.
Did
you convince Joe Pace and the owners not to go to America? You want to keep driving it or what?
Yeah, absolutely. It took a lot of prayers and from myself and Joe's son Adrian, but luckily they got through.
I'm sure you're a good Catholic boy. A couple of rosary beats, a couple of Hail Marys. Right. Question 2 of the burning questions. We're here for hip pocket workwear and safety. I no longer have the spiel in front of me, but they do lots of stuff. Protective equipment, some clothes. I think they do hats, maybe earmuffs. They do lots. Get onto it. hippocketworkwear.com.au. Second question. Will the Wolf keep front and win the matriarch this Sat? Or will the classy runners off the second row stop that? Andy Gath, my co-host, to you first.
Yeah, he's probably got the opportunity to lead. I think the only one that could probably cross it is Smooth Debate. Both Brad and Jordo, they're pretty competitive at home, and they'll probably be more competitive on the racetrack. So I don't think they'll give each other an inch on the racetrack. But yeah, I think the main danger are probably off the back row. But if it does lead, it's definitely the one to beat. I don't think it's moral. I think it's a nice enough horse. But if it's got a soft lead time, it's definitely the one to beat, and it'll definitely hold up, I'd say, if it's fast enough.
Do they get physical at home? Because I would imagine, I'm not fat shaming Brad, but I reckon he could probably bash Geordie and then eat him if he wanted to.
Yeah, he's pretty fast. He's pretty elusive, so he's got to get hold of him first.
You got to be cunning. You got to corner him.
That's it.
Then one knock on the top of the head. What are your thoughts on this question, Jack?
The Wolf was good enough first up. We'll cross the one. Andy sort of already said sort of exactly the same as what I was going to say. The only horse that I think will really probably test it would be Smooth Debate. So, like either way, I think it's going to go close. I'd probably actually rather see him hand up to Smooth Debate and let Smooth Debate do all the bullocking work and make it harder for those ones off the back and just, sit on it and sprint home like it did in the heat last week. Probably the only horse I reckon is good enough on the second row to make a mid-race move if there's no speed on the front. Like after the first couple of hundred is probably Doug's Babe. And I think the other ones nearly have to come with one run. So I'd actually rather see Geordie hand up and just drive him like he did last week. There'll be hope there's a little bit more tempo than there was in the heat, and it'll probably be savaging the line.
I just want to know, it might not be you, but you're the one sitting at a table. Are you incessantly smashing a pen against the table like you've got obsessive compulsive disorder? I mean, mental health is a big thing these days. I'm not judging you, but there's something going on in the back. It is a pen, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pen. Sorry,
yeah.
I didn't know you could hear it. I'll stop that.
So you're going out to warm up a horse, just smashing a pen against the car just to get yourself ready. Jimmy, thoughts here? The Wolf, Doug's Babe, Art of Shingli was very good. What do you think is going to happen in the matriarch final?
Yeah, no, there's definitely something wrong with Jack, but
we haven't worked out what it is yet, but yes, something. Yeah.
No one will know what that is.
The Wolf, it was quite good last week, and it should be better for the run. I don't think it'll matter a whole lot whether it hands up or it doesn't, as long as it doesn't cop too much through the middle and it can get it, easy enough that it should be able to rip home. But I think it'll take a lot of beating.
Whose phone did you grab, by the way, Jimmy?
Grabbed my grandfather's, actually.
What a nice kid. Deprives his grandfather of a phone. I don't even think he's looked at the... Anyway. Question 3 of the burning questions. Andy Gath, you gave us all the information on Major Meister. You don't even train it last week. If the Meister leads in Melton's 5th race on the card, will he hold or hand to Art, that's Mighty Flying Art, to make Knight's Conquest harder? That's Knight's Templar. Sorry, I've got to try and make these things rhyme. So we all know what we're talking about here, though. Will Major Meister be leading and holding the top?
Obviously not my decision. It's not.
It seemed like it was your decision last week. You knew everything.
Yeah, but it was only guesswork. He looks like he'll be the obvious leader. I know he got run down last start. And this week he's probably had Knights Templar on his back, which is, probably a superior horse to Beaumont Royale. So, but he'd be fitter for the run. He spent a long time off the racetrack. So I think if he leads, I reckon they'll be happy enough to hold it. Knights Templar's been coming off speed and not doing any work early, so it's going to have to bustle a little bit early to hold its position, fence behind the leader if that how it pans out. So I reckon if it does lead, I reckon it'll hold the lead.
What do you got to say about that, Jackson?
Well, two things.
You got to start with the first thing. All right, what's the first thing?
Well, got the easiest first half ever last week, and it couldn't win. 59-5 first half.
Shots
over
fired.
the short at Melton.
Shots fired. I'm burning questions. All right.
So off that run, I'd say if it leads, it can't win. But it's actually got a lot better form over the middle trip. It's won 9 races, Major Master, and it's only ever won 1 race over the short. So the 2200 actually probably suits it better going off his record. But in saying that, if Knights Templar's sitting on its back, it's probably still going to get beat. So Mighty Flying Art's pretty quick off the gate as well. And I reckon we'll be there testing it
out. Jack, when you say test it out, we're testing it out once or twice or 3 times. I've seen you once or twice. I did write that love poem for you, but I've seen you get plan A in your mind and just say, I tell you what, you will respect my authority and keep going. Is that the plan here or not?
Well, we probably won't be going any more than once, put it that way. But I reckon we'll nearly be there quick enough anyway.
You'll be going once, but for 700 metres. Once for as long as it takes.
He's very fast off the arm.
Yes, I think you'll be leading, but I don't know if you'll get there straight away. What are your thoughts, Love Bug?
Knights Templar is a very nice horse, but it's well documented that he doesn't do anything early. So if he does have to do a bit early here to hold up close enough to them when they do go for it early, might take a little bit out of him late. So, and his run last start, it wasn't really that great back in the field, and he just didn't look comfortable and didn't really finish off. So I don't really like him from the pole draw. Mighty Flying Art, a couple of starts back, was super. They backed him in and got the jockeys. So I think he's probably the one to beat in this race.
Jackie, before we go on to the final question, the Wombat amazingly came up with a very good question today on the radio. If it was a match race right now between Torrid Saint and Captain Belisario, who would you drive?
Yeah, he actually asked me that last night, Toby, at Shepparton, and I couldn't sort of give him an answer, but depends.
I'll tell you what, you'll be giving me one.
Depends on the barrier draw. I'd probably have to stick with Torrid Saint at the moment, but at some point in the future, those two are probably going to clash. But yeah, I'll worry about that when that happens. But to tell you the truth, there's not really a lot between them, I don't think.
I'd prefer if you did tell me the truth.
Well, I'm sticking with Torrid Saint. I'm sticking fat with him, but Captain Belisario is a pretty good horse. Now,
will Captain Belisario lead on Saturday night?
I don't see why he wouldn't. Yeah.
And is he as good in front?
Yeah, just as good. He's got a really good turn of foot with a sit now, as we saw at Melton a couple of weeks ago. But he's just as good in front, and burned him out the gate a couple of times before. And I still actually really haven't sort of had to bustle him out too much. He just does it with ease. So, and the two inside of him, I'd imagine, hopefully, wouldn't want to be doing too much work anyway. He should be happy to sit on him.
What we've learned from Jackson is he can't see why a lot of things can't happen in life.
He's
the kind of guy that believes we can probably travel to Uranus and live there. He can't see why. He can't see why it couldn't happen. Question 4, the final burning question. Will the Petillon we lauded last campaign be tough to stop, or will she be a sitting duck if she, not he, but she can't find the top? Love Bug, thoughts, discuss.
I'm just going to use Jack's line here. I
can't see why I wouldn't.
Yeah, great filly, and her record speaks for herself. She's tough and she's fast. So yeah, I think she should be able to bustle her way there. And Emma's horses are renowned in front. They're very hard to beat. So yeah, she should be going pretty close.
I still don't think she's going as well as she was. She should win the race. What about Aussie Joy there? Do we blaze out and try and find the front, Jack, or not?
Probably not. I'd say big rising class. I think she's better. Well, she was better a 2-year-old from behind as a 2-year-old. So she probably hasn't come back as good as I thought she would, but she's slowly sort of getting the job done. So, but I don't think we'll be running the gate. There's probably going to be enough speed from the 4 inside of the Emma Stewart horse that sort of they'll be racing each other to get that spot behind it. I think so. We'll probably just ease out of it and let her get home.
The good news, Andy, is we found one thing that Jack can't see happening or feels is unlikely in life, and that's Aussie Joy leading. What are your thoughts on Petillon?
Can you be out of form if you won your last 3 in a row, like Petillon?
Yeah, half.
Yeah, like I don't think she's going as good as she can, but she keeps getting the job done, and probably be the same here again too. I think she'll bully her way to the front and be too good for him, but I still don't think she's going anywhere near her best like she showed in her 2-year-old career.
I agree with that. Where does that leave us for Saturday night?
Well, I just still think we'll win. I just think we'll find the top.
I think Beach Memories is a hope of betting it. Right, before we get to the best bets, Love Bug, here's some questions for you. Only you. Can Hugo Rocks win the first?
It all will come down to tempo. If they go nice and hard through that first half and the last half isn't as strong, well, he will be he'll be hitting the line pretty well. But he's not on the fence this week, and he loves the fence, little horse. So he's going really good. He's run last week, had a lot of merit to it, and I was quite confident with him, to be able to run first 3 last week, because the week before he was a bit fat and he sort of got away on us a little bit, and that told late. But last week was good, and this week he should be able to run sort of top 3. But whether he can win, I'm not too sure. If
the Wolf leads and holds the lead, can Ruby Wingate win?
No, but I think she should be able to run sort of top 4. I don't mind the mare. I drove her a couple of starts ago, and she went all right. She wasn't doing everything 100% within her manners. So, she's if she's on the ball and at her best, she should be able to run sort of top 4.
And finally, for the Love Bug, will you be attempting to lead with Lombo Heaven in the last?
Yeah, I think so. I don't mind the horse. His Queensland form was good in front. He ran some nice solid times and looked a lot more comfortable in front. So his run last week was okay. Adam's sort of still learning a little bit about the horse, and he thinks he'll be better this week. But if he can get a good run in front, he should be able to give him something to chase.
Have you also spent any time or much time with James McPherson?
No, I haven't. No.
Because unless I see the two of you in the same place at the same time, spoke to him on radio today. He sounded exactly like you. He looks a bit like you. I'm worried. It's like Avril Lavigne when she apparently died and then came. I don't know. I still like you more, though.
Well, there is a funny story there. I actually used his ID in Sydney when I was up there because I left my car license at home. So, and it did work. So it's a bit of merit to what you said there.
Welcome back to the illegal version, the dark web version of Burning Questions. Terrific. We're trying to promote our young drivers, our stars. Anyway, best bet on the program, Jackson.
Aussie Battler.
Best bet on the program, Jackson.
Why won't you accept that?
I guess he did it. He's done it before. If he does it again, well, Love Bug, best bet on the card.
I don't mind a perfect dance each way. There was a lot of her run the other night at Cranbourne was really good. Sitting parked first up for the Rothwell boys. They do a really good job with their horses, and she pulled hard and went 55. She sat parked, which really isn't her go, and she's still there at the finish and got beat by a very nice little 3-year-old. So If she's able to get in the fence early and get a bit of a breather, she might be knocking on the door late.
Lead and trail.
Probably lead and trail, I'd say.
Be good news for somebody. Now everyone's going to have a crack at you. Bad decision. Good decision with the ID. Not so sure. Highlighting that. Andy, you had to go at me about my best bets. What's yours?
Well, I'm going the same as Herbie, but I'm going each way. I think a perfect dance will lead and win. So don't hand up, Herbie. Not much one, it's lead. So hold the lead. And
Fair point.
anyone listen to what he said before, just disregard it. He won't be handing up.
Are you driving Treacherous Rock there, Jackie?
Yep, I am.
You're just going to abuse him now, yeah? Just abuse him.
Abuse who? James Herbertson?
Yes.
Uh,
I don't know why you had to say his full name, but yes, James Herbertson.
oh, well, sometimes I'm just not sure. But I am driving Treacherous Rock, yeah. He actually went super at Charlton. I was really happy with him. He's improved a little bit lately.
I'm with Box of Chocolates to lead and win the first. Well done, Jack.
On what?
Just being part of the show, mate, having a fan behind you, clicking your pen, just the big smile, the coif in the hair. Well done on everything.
No worries. It takes a lot of work. It's very hard to be in me, but when people like you appreciate it, just makes it all worthwhile.
Try being me. Hold my beverage.